Our problem statement is work clothing that has sensors embedded in it to securely transmit data to managers about hazardous conditions and the workers' physical conditions. Who are customers and why? Our customers mainly consist of factory workers and mine workers like machine operators, maintenance mechanic, supervisors who can be directly affected easily from the working place. It will also cover the 5 reasons why we wear clothing: protection, adornment, identification, modesty, and status. Mining. For the world to run efficiently, we need resources: petrol, coal, natural oil, and plenty of other resources. We attain all of these resources through mining. With the increase in the world population, there has been an increase in the usage of the resources, which means there has been an increase in mining activity too. This led to an increase in the numbers of miners being active in the profession. Due to the abundance of miners and including the time factor, safety of the workers has been neglected for a long time. Statistics. More people are killed or injured in the mining industry than in any other industry. More than 15,000 miners are killed every year, and this is just the official number of deaths. Most likely it's many more. Nobody really knows how many people are injured in mining, but it is really likely to be hundreds of thousands of people every year. Casualties. Mining is destroying lives. In today's world, the average miner has a lifespan of 35 to 40 years, a life more than 25 years shorter than the average person. These account for the majority of the casualties: repetitive trauma, hearing loss, dust diseases of the lungs. Statistics. These top 3 account for 81% of the newly reported cases. Uniquely, dust diseases can result in death, and for 1999, the most recent year for which data is available, 1,003 people died from coal worker pneumoconiosis. During the 1990s, deaths from coal worker pneumoconiosis ranged from 1,000 to 2,000 per year. Silicosis death statistics in the mining industry are not as readily available, since many countries do not report the associated industry with the silicosis related death. Silicosis death statistics in the mining industry are not as readily available, since many countries do not report the associated industry with the silicosis related death. For those countries that do report the associated industry, the data shows that mining is responsible for approximately 25% of the deaths. Customer perspective. Silicosis is a long-term lung disease caused by inhaling large amounts of crystalline silica dust, usually over many years. Silica is a substance naturally found in certain types of stones, rock, sand, and clay. Working with these materials can create a very fine dust that can be easily inhaled. Customer perspective. Silicosis can also increase your risk of getting other serious and potentially life-threatening conditions, including tuberculosis and other chest infections, pulmonary hypertension, heart failure, arthritis, kidney disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Machine operators. Workers can be subject to unpredicted dangers and hazards, such as when bypassing safeguards during heavy machinery operations. Supervisors need to ensure that workers are immediately aware of potential dangers to avoid accidents. Using wearables, workers can inform their supervisors about their location, fatigue levels, health status, the surrounding environment. This digital connectivity and data transparency allows supervisors to remotely observe workers, check for safety compliance, assess potential dangers, and send timely alerts or requests for help. We can attach sensors to monitor multiple parameters such as altitude, proximity, falls, noise, gas, temperature, and pressure. Apart from these, we can also use sensors to measure a worker's biometrics. Heat and cold stress detection. Exposure to extreme temperatures is a major concern for outdoor workers such as emergency responders, police and law enforcement officers, sanitation workers, snow removal crews, and those used in cold storage warehouses or meat packaging plants. The risk factors for hypothermia, body temperature less than 95 degree Fahrenheit, or exposure to cold temperatures. Poor physical conditioning, exhaustion, a lack of sufficient warm protective clothing, or predisposing health conditions. Devices for monitoring the skin temperature include glass thermometers, infrared thermometers, thermal imagers, and wearables. While most wearables are capable of monitoring the skin temperature in a continuous and unobtrusive manner, it is challenging to measure the core body temperature in the same manner. Workers often quit their jobs due to health hazards and negligence of safety precautions. This can be avoided with proper health management. It is somewhat understood that long-term exposure cannot be avoided. It can only be regulated. With proper equipment, it's possible. Risk factors. The risk factors for occupational lung diseases are work-related exposure to gases, dust, fumes, chemicals, sudden temperature changes, and psychosocial stress. In the long run, these factors can lead to life-threatening situations, even death. Protecting and improving the safety, health, and productivity of workers is paramount for companies as they face post-pandemic challenges of acute shortage of skilled labor, strains on supply chain management, global inflation, and rising medical costs. In this regard, intelligence systems, deployable sensors and analytics play a critical role to facilitate TWH through continuous monitoring, management, and prediction of workplace risks and organizational assets.